Feather crochet is definitely here to stay, but cornrows and miracle knots aren't exactly for everyone. I just knew there had to be another way to use this product, so get ready to learn something new. We're diving into microlinks. Today's video is brought to us by Ywigs. They sent me over 5 bundles of their feather crochet in body wave 14 inches. Each bundle comes with 50 strands of hand-tied human hair. That's 250 strands for all 5 bundles. Now let me show you how I made these microlinks. Now you won't need any products for this install, just these tools. First up is this very small crochet hook. It needs to be small enough to fit a microlink. As you can see, it is much smaller than the normal crochet hook that we're used to. Next, you need one of these wire beaders. It does help if you have multiple so that you can load up a lot at one time. You need some small pliers to close and open the microlinks. And of course you need the microlinks themselves. These are 3mm size, 200 in this jar. Microlinks come in a range of colors. These are in a dark brown, so they match my hair and the hair of the extensions very well. The bead itself is a very sturdy material, but the inside is silicone, so it's very gentle on your hair. You can actually pick up an entire kit of these tools on Amazon for less than $10. I will link it in the description box below. To prep the hair, I was only able to fit in 2 strands for these size microlinks. Technically, you can fit more in each link, however, you do need to leave some space to fit your natural hair. To attach the link to the feather crochet, you want to put it onto the small crochet hook and then pull the 2 pieces through that link. The name of the game is to get those 2 strands of hair through that one link. Once you have the links attached, then all you have to do is load them onto your beader. The beader is pretty long, so you can load up multiple at a time. It does seem like it's a little bit of a tedious job, but once I got a solid plan together, it only took me about an hour to do all of them, and with 250 strands, I had 125 links. To keep myself organized, once I got done with all of them, I placed them all on a string on my rack. That way, all I had to do was just kind of grab the beader and then feed them on as I was going along. It was just too much of a mess to just have them laying around. Alright, here's the state of my natural hair. It is freshly washed and pressed. There is absolutely no product in it, which is very key for microlinks. You don't want to have any product in it because it will slide. I really didn't have a plan on how I was going to install this, so I just parted out my perimeter and then I just installed row by row, and I only grabbed the amount of pieces that I knew would fit comfortably inside each link. I also need to preface, this is my very first attempt at doing any kind of microlink style. Aside from the ones that I did with locks and stuff like that, this is like the first real attempt at anything like that on my natural hair. This is 100% a DIY project. I have absolutely no intentions on adding this to my service menu, so please do not ask, and I don't want to hear nobody in the comments talking about you doing it all wrong. I'm doing it my way and I'm more than comfortable with it. Before I got started, I already told myself if I installed the first row and I didn't like how it felt, I was going to go back to the drawing board, but I was about halfway through when I was like, okay, I think we own to something here. So here's the method to the madness that I landed on. Basically, you're just gonna feed the hair through on the beater. Then what I did was I slid it up a little bit, and then to make sure it wasn't too close to the root or too tight, I pulled my hair downward, and then I made sure that the bead laid flat before I closed it up. It's also important to note that I am a fine hair girly. Yes, I look like I have a lot of hair when it's blown out, but when it's pressed, it is super flat and super fine. So if you're a thick-haired girly or a high-density person, your sections may not look like mine. You may need smaller sections for this size beader, or you need to get larger beads for your install. The largest beads I was able to find were 8mm, but I haven't looked everywhere, so do your research. My main concern having fine hair attempting this style was that the thread from the feather crochet might get caught on my hair, or the beads would be pulling. And as I'm doing this voiceover, I've had the hair in several days and I have not experienced any of that. I was also a little concerned that the threads would show more, but actually the threads are hidden very well. They're actually underneath my natural hair, so I didn't have any problems with that. At this point, you couldn't tell me I hadn't cracked the code, baby. I cracked the code on this one. Now, because of this hair texture and because this is my first attempt at installing Microlinks, while my hair is in this state, I'm definitely not going to attempt to wash my hair while it's in. I will probably remove them first and wash my hair and reinstall them. Will this work on curlier textures? I'm pretty sure it will, but there's only one way to find out, and that's for a future video. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We just hit 400K, so we're doing something right over here, y'all. And y'all know I had to test this hair out, so I've been walking around with this paddle brush, just brushing the mess out of it just to see if anything slips out, and I can proudly say we are good to go. So with 5 full bundles, it did end up being a lot of hair, so this is actually about 4.5, and I honestly could have gotten away with just 4 because the hair is pretty thick and full, but you saw how flat my hair was in the beginning, so I need all the volume I can get. And yes, I can put this up in a pony. I can't put it up in a high pony because, you know, my leave out is still pretty short, but I can get a little something going there. Listen, I was so excited to make this video. I was so proud of myself for figuring this out. But wait, let me show you real quick how to remove these. So when you install the bead, you flatten it out just like this. When you go to remove the bead, you just flatten it out the opposite direction. Once the bead opens up, just make sure you have a little give and it slides right on out. So if you make a mistake, you can easily just go back and fix it. Alright, that's the video. So as always, if you learned something new, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and share it with a friend. Special thanks to our friends over at Ywigs for sponsoring today's video. All details about this hair and products used will be listed in the description box below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!